Hey guys, nice to see you. Hope you're doing amazing. This video is to explain to you real briefly what you have to do this week. So we're in unit 2, right? Back to school, that's what we're checking. And before we start with the activity and the contents, I want to make sure that you can tell me what day is it today. So what's the date today? What day is it and how do you say it? Do you remember how to say the date? How do you say the date today? So you would say it's the of and the month 2020, right? So let's see. What day is it? It's the 20 something, right? 25th or 27th or 26th or 28th or 29th of May 2020. Good? Nice. Today we're going to be working on grammar, and the main contents have to do with there is and there are. Those are the contents. We're going to start with the function first. So we have there is and there are. We use there is for singulars and there are for plurals, right? So every time we mean one thing, we're going to say there is. So there is one notebook. There is one notebook. Only one. There are instead for plurals. So there are two notebooks. There are two notebooks, right? Two, more than one. And that's for the affirmative sentences. So there is, there are. Now, both can be abbreviated, but there is can be abbreviated for singulars, like here. So you can say there is or there's, right? There is a worm on the leaf. There's a worm on the leaf. There is some soup on the bowl. There's some soup on the bowl. Both are correct, right? Oops. If you're moving on, there you go. In the case of there are, you cannot abbreviate. I'm sorry. So there are. It's the only chance. There are worms on the leaves. There are two notebooks. There are. No abbreviation possible. There is no short version. In the case of negatives, you have there is not and there are not. So there is not one notebook. There is not a notebook. There are not two notebooks. There are three notebooks. There are not two notebooks. And you can abbreviate the negative version of both. So you can say there isn't a notebook. There aren't three notebooks, right? Again, there isn't for plurals, there aren't, sorry, there isn't for singulars, there aren't for plurals, right? That's the negative. And now we're moving on to the questions. Now, for the questions, we're going to do something special. We're going to invert the order. We're going to change the order. So over here, we have the question structure for there is. So instead of saying there is, we're going to say is there. So when you say is there, you're asking a question. Is there a pencil on the table? Is there a student in the classroom? Is there a notebook in the bedroom or on the bed? And in the case of plurals, are there two students in the classroom? Are there three pens on the desk? Are there four notebooks in the bedroom? See? And then you have the answers, because every time you're going to ask for something, you're going to receive an answer, right? So if I ask, is there a pencil on the desk? If there is a pencil on the desk, the answer is going to be yes, there is. There is a pencil on the desk. If there is not, you're going to say no, there isn't a pencil on the desk. There isn't any. There's no pencil on the desk. In the case of plurals, you're going to ask, are there two notebooks in my hand? Are there two notebooks in my hand? Yes, there are two notebooks in my hand. Or, no, there aren't two notebooks in my hand. There is one notebook in my hand. See? So questions, you invert the order. Is there, are there? And the possible answers, yes, there is, no, there isn't, yes, there are, no, there aren't. Good. And so now we're going to practice, right? I've uploaded a worksheet online, so it's cool because you can work on it, but in your computer, so you don't have to write anything. So this is the worksheet. I mean, you don't have to print or write. This is the worksheet. Here we have a picture A and picture B, right? So you have certain objects there in picture A. Look at it very carefully before you start. And then you have some objects in picture V. Also pay attention to it carefully. And then you have the exercises over there. So in number 3, it says a big tree in picture A. So you have to complete. There is a a big tree in picture A. There isn't a big tree in picture A. Focus on picture A. There are a big tree in picture A, or there aren't a big tree in picture A. So you look at the picture and you say, there is, there isn't, there are, there aren't, and you write it down. In number 4, same story, but this time you focus on picture B. So there is big trees in picture B. There are big trees, 2 big trees in picture B. There isn't 2 big trees, or there aren't 2 big trees. What do you think? So you write it down in your computers. No printing, no notebooks. You write on the computer. Number 5, same thing. A young boy in picture A young girl in picture B. So you look at the pictures and you write down there is, there isn't, there are, there aren't, depending on the picture, right? On what you find in the picture. And then you have more exercises. Butterflies in picture A, 2 butterflies in picture B, balloons in picture A, and balloons in picture B. So you look at the pictures and you write down there is, or there are, or there isn't, or there aren't. You look at the picture and you complete. And here we have questions this time. Questions and answers. So remember, for questions over here, for questions, you're going to invert the order. So you're going to say, are there 2 schools instead of there are, because it's a question, right? Are there 2 schools? Is there a park? Are there 4 ants? I don't know. And the answers, no, there aren't, or yes, there are, or no, there isn't, or yes, there is. Good. And so you have all of these possible questions, items. So in number 2, a supermarket. Then you have 3 cafes in number 3. Number 4, lots of buildings. Number 5, a park. And then 3 buses. So focus on the quantity and to be able to answer correctly, okay? And you write the question and then the answer. Remember, everything on the computer. This time we're not printing anything, and we're not writing down anything, because I gave you the file online. Se hace en el computador, right? It's easier, and you're going to be able to check the answers immediately. So you're immediately going to say, oh, I was right, or oh, I was wrong. You'll be able to check the answers in time. Good. That's it, guys. See you next class. We're going to review this content again next Thursday, so don't worry if you still have doubts or problems or questions. We're going to work together, you and me, next Thursday. Thanks so much. Hope you enjoyed the video, and that's it. Bye bye.